Nice looking row of trailers, isn't it? Everyone in its space, all ready to go. Most drivers have had to spot trailers at one point or another, and for many new drivers, spotting trailers is where they start their careers. New driver or veteran, you'll be spotting trailers at some point, and you'd better do it right, because each and every year, low-speed accidents in yards or loading areas cost the industry millions of dollars, some drivers their jobs, and a number of deaths.
The majority of yard spotting accidents, I believe, come in from being in a hurry, being a little careless, not always getting out looking where you're backing. You just assume everything's okay. And then maybe speed in your parking lots has a lot to do with that too.
It's amazing how many accidents occur when spotting trailers. It should be simple. A closed area with no civilians to worry about, and virtually all maneuvers at low speed. There really is no reason for the large number of yard spotting accidents. So what it all comes down to is either lack of basic skills or carelessness.
New drivers have to constantly concentrate on what they've been taught. You may not have the experience of some veteran drivers, but you still have to do your job the right way. And even you seasoned drivers maybe sometimes forget the basics when you have to do the simple job of spotting a trailer. In large trailer pools, the yard jockey can have one of the most difficult driving assignments around. You may have to do jackknife backing and pull-out maneuvers with as little as 4 inches of clearance to either side. If you're a newer driver, you may want to practice these maneuvers with cones or barrels. It's better to knock them over rather than scrape a trailer. Whatever the reason, it doesn't take much to smash or damage equipment or even injure someone.
You know, if it takes 30 minutes to back up safely, or if you can't back up safely, then don't do it.
It all starts with speed. You're in a hurry to get the job done, and all of a sudden,
you just caused some serious damage. The primary cause of yard accidents is simply not taking your time. You know how to back properly. When you're at a loading dock, you do it right. You get out of the truck and check out your clearances. You make sure that nothing gets into your path as you're backing. Spotting a trailer requires the same process and even more care, especially when you need to spot a trailer between 2 other trailers in a tight situation. When drivers are familiar with the yard, some of them tend to get complacent and just go through the motions, and that's something no driver should do.
It's one of those things, you just do it so much that it becomes a second nature. But you know, it requires the same amount of care as hooking to a load going to California. You know, even though that you might just be moving to the other side of the building, you know, it still takes that same amount of care.
basic safe driving techniques can eliminate most yard accidents, but there are some special hazards in the yard that you don't find on the road.
A yard can be a busy place, and if they aren't paved, they can also be very dusty, which limits or reduces visibility. There can be a number of people at work. Drivers, equipment operators, and other workers can be around and appear suddenly in your path. Hazards in the yard can cause bigger problems than a damaged trailer. Physical injuries or worse happen way too often. Even at 3 miles an hour, a truck can cause a lot of damage to a trailer or a person.
Just because it's an environment that typically trucks operate in exclusively does not mean that there won't be the occasional pedestrian. There's been a number of occasions when drivers were backing up to a piece of equipment or backing a trailer and looking exclusively out the left mirror of the truck, not aware that there's a pedestrian on their right-hand side. They don't take into account that pedestrian, and that pedestrian happens to walk behind them while they're backing. Again, a low-speed accident could be a very fatal accident.
Where you spot a trailer is important as well. A fully loaded trailer carries a lot of weight, and if you spot it in the wrong location, it can sink right into the ground.
If there are concrete pads for trailer skids, be sure to use them. It might take a few minutes longer to have them properly placed, but it's better than having the trailer sink and maybe even tip over.
Asphalt heats up, it becomes soft, and you may set the trailer down and drive off and think it's fine, and come back later on and realize that 6 inches down into the asphalt. You have to get a wrecker to come get it out. I've seen them dropped on dirt, and the same thing is sink in. So it's a real easy solution. If you have to drop your trailer on dirt, or if you have to drop it on asphalt or something, just find some boards and put underneath the dolly shoes. That'll solve that problem.
Yard tractors can make yard spotting a lot easier.
They have better visibility when backing trailers into position, and it's easy to walk out and connect the hoses on a trailer before you move it.
Perhaps the best feature of some yard tractors is the hydraulic fifth wheel. This allows you to lift the trailer and move it to a new location without raising the dollies.
While special equipment does make life easier, it also makes it even more important that you make sure the fifth wheel is coupled. If you aren't coupled properly, you could drop the trailer and cause some serious damage.
Yard spotting should be accident-free. It's a controlled environment, yet it is one of the major locations for preventable accidents. Perhaps some drivers just don't take it seriously enough. Accidents cost time and money. And when those accidents aren't reported, the next driver to pull that trailer could be in big trouble.
Remember that speed and carelessness cause yard spotting accidents. Veterans and new drivers alike are both responsible for safe spotting. Stay focused. You might not be going 65, but you can still cause some serious damage. Don't be in a hurry. You can spot a lot of trailers in the time it takes to fill out an accident report. Use basic backing safety. When in doubt, get out and check out the situation. Be alert for other drivers, equipment operators, or other yard personnel. Spot the trailer in the right location. Use concrete pads when they're available. Yard tractors can make life easier, but don't let them make you complacent. If you're using a hydraulic fifth wheel, make sure it's properly coupled before you raise the trailer.
Just because you spot trailers at low speed doesn't mean you can let your guard down. Keep it slow, keep it safe, keep it professional.
It's just a matter of letting your guard down. And when you're behind the wheel of that truck, whether you're in the yard or whether you're out on the highway, you have to be sharp.